Hey, podcasters. Today we are going to discuss the novel Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. Sharp Objects is a story about a young reporter named Camille Preaker. Camille Preaker comes from a pretty troubled past. She has very interesting health issues. And basically, she gets this job assignment from the newspaper that takes her back to her hometown. She hasn't been out in her hometown for at least 8 years. So she goes back to meet people, but also work on this really big case regarding preteen girls who've been murdered. So it has a lot of twists and turns, and you will be able to go through the story and learn how Camille unravels the psychological puzzle of her own past to get to the story. Get ready to enjoy the podcast. Here we go. Raya,
Champagne,
and Lynn.
Today we are going to talk to you about the book called Sharp Objects and the movie by the same name. And the movie was directed by Jean-Marc Vallée.
Yes.
And we don't know who the screenplay was written by.
No,
We can't find it. We Googled it.
Can't figure that out, so we're going to skip it.
Maybe Gillian was involved with the screenplay, but if anybody knows who wrote this screenplay, let us know. Hit us up. Let's talk a little bit about how you all felt about this movie.
Loving Jean-Marc.
Yes. Yeah. So what did you all think of this book and the series?
Well, Gillian Flynn, I would like to start with her because she has a super twisted mind.
Right.
She took me to places I didn't think I could ever dream up.
Yeah.
But the book was amazing.
She's a little dark,
yeah,
right?
She's very dark. She's a little bit past a little dark.
That was a dark series.
That was dark.
And it's interesting because we had the same comments about, or you had the same comment about Big Little Lies, which was also directed by Jean-Marc Vallée. And so it's interesting because I think he was perfect to do this movie because he seems to have a darkness in the way that he directs. So I thought that was really interesting.
The dark duo.
Yeah, she's brilliant though. Quite a little twisted, but she has a pattern. Yeah, she has a pattern apparently because she also wrote Gone Girl. Correct. Yes.
Oh yeah.
She's definitely dark.
And then Jean-Marc Vallée also directed Big Little Lies, so I feel like these repeat people just are giving us like a really a great idea and visualization of their directing styles and their writing styles.
Yeah.
So how'd you like the book, though?
I love the book, actually.
I like the book, and I like the series. I mean, there were a couple of things that I just didn't quite get, like why the girls were on roller skates the entire series.
I mean, if
you
have a small town
skates in the book,
if you have small town Missouri, like
that's all they did because she did in the book make a lot of references to what was considered fun back then. Like stuff was kind of boring,
right? But were you guys looking for a Sonic?
No.
It was so much roller skating. I'm like, do they walk?
Right. Sadly, that took me a second to get your joke.
Right.
I was like,
really?
I got it right away. Like,
I was like, I got it. Yeah, it took me a second. I'm here. Welcome. Thank you.
Sorry.
But okay, so in the beginning of the book, it was a little slow for me. But right around chapter 9, I literally read the rest of it in one day because I couldn't put it down.
Yeah.
So it got really good. So I actually like the book.
Yeah.
I read Gone Girl, and then immediately I needed my next Gillian Flynn fix.
Yeah.
So I immediately read Sharp Objects, and stay tuned because we're going to be reading Dark Places later, and that's another Gillian Flynn book. So I'm letting you know that I read all 3 back to back because I needed to know more about what her mind was creating. So I loved Sharp Objects from beginning to end.
I'm just wondering about Lynn's mind.
I know,
because the fact that she needs that craziness in her life.
Yeah, that's a call for help.
Like you said, you read half the book in one day.
Yeah.
So I had my solution. I had my fix right after.
I don't need my fix that quickly, though. But okay. So I just noticed it was.
I couldn't help it. It's ready.
So there's that one wine treating you, right?
Yeah, Ray's feeling really good right now. So were there any parts, any scenes in the book that kind of jumped out at you? Like, do you guys remember the scene with John, who was the person I think that was accused of killing the girls?
John King.
Do you remember the scene when they were at the house and his girlfriend was walking around that cheerleading?
Yes.
Talking about creepy.
What's happening? And then, what's her name? Camille was like, "Oh, is school out?" She's like, "Oh, I just like to get high spirited."
Yeah.
I was like, "What the heck is going on here?"
So the main Gillian is so twisted.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that one was crazy."
She comes up with the unimaginable. But I noticed it was a lot of subtle differences from the books and the movies.
Like what?
From the TV show. Where she worked, where Camille worked, was not in Chicago. It was actually in St. Louis.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't catch that either.
So it wasn't a long drive there.
It was not.
I didn't catch that. Are you sure?
Well, I remember it not being a long drive, but I'm sorry, people in the Midwest. I'm not good with geography. Like, it skips from
down, right?
Because skip a solid, 200 miles. I'm not good at it. But I didn't envision, Chicago being that far from Missouri, but you might be right.
Yeah, it's not close.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's not 10 minutes down the road, but at the same time.
Right, yeah.
I know she needed a lot of time to reflect. So
Yeah.
I was thinking that was her drive and put a quantity of time to it.
Yeah, so she worked at the St. Louis Chronicles in the series and the Chicago Tribune in the book. So I don't know why they made that change, though. Why was that?
Yeah, I don't know. What was the significance of that?
I hate when they make
I hate
unnecessary changes like that.
I do too.
Like how we were referring to in Girl on the Train podcast,
and
how they change locations.
Bothered a lot of people.
Often.
Yeah.
It bothered a lot of people. We got a comment on that about the girl on the train.
Yeah.
Not being in London. She was not happy.
But yeah, so it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So in this movie, they added some scenes about Camille's being in the mental health hospital, and they added the roommate scene, which they made that a significant part of the movie, but it really wasn't in the book.
Well, of course, they need to embellish to kind of fill
I don't remember
an
all of that about
8-part
the roommate.
series.
But wasn't her roommate in the book? Because I remember her saying something about her killing herself.
Okay.
And her parents looked at her. Her parents came to, not Camille's parents, but her roommate's parents, gave her a look as they're picking up her stuff after she committed suicide. They gave her a nasty look as if she had helped her or something. That's the only reason I remember that.
But it jumped out at me in the series because of the woman that played the role. Because she's the same woman that's in The Handmaid's Tale. What's her name? Anybody remember her name? Her name was Alice. The roommate's name was Alice in the series. But I mean, I definitely think the way that they brought that out complimented the storyline, but it just wasn't that significant in the book. But what's her name? Sydney Sweeney, I think her name was, from The Handmaids.
Yeah.
But she likes to play, people that die.
Evidently.
She's good at that, right?
She's great at that. Yeah,
right?
she's
really
good at
good
that.
at playing that role.
She doesn't even open her mouth when she talks. It's so annoying to me.
Are you opening your mouth?
Ray's had a
Speaking
spiel.
of that,
Are you opening your mouth now? Or your eyes?
Okay, one thing that bothered me, I don't know if you guys noticed, in the series, is the freaking buzzing of these freaking flies. Irritated the mess out of me, especially being from the country. So I hear it a lot.
In my room.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I was like,
were you having flashbacks?
I really was, and I don't like those type of flies.
I noticed.
Yeah, every 5 seconds you'll hear, how the sound of a fly on a screen?
Oh, I thought it was something like a fan or something blowing. I didn't know what it was.
I noticed it, but
we can tone it out. We can tone it out.
So annoying.
Those of us who aren't from the country can.
No, but it was driving me crazy because I kept thinking that something was in my room.
Right. I kept looking around. Yeah.
That just means you have good surround sound.
Oh.
Good to know.
I didn't know that. Okay, how about in the series, that scene where all the women were in the house watching a movie and they were all crying? Do you guys remember that scene? Okay.
Yes.
That was y'all all watching The Shack.
I agree.
And Breakthrough.
I'm not even going to deny that.
So when I was watching that, I was like, look at Lynn, Rhea, Champagne bawling watching a television show.
Do I sense judgment? I'm feeling personally attacked here.
Yeah, I just had a flashback of us watching the Shack, and then
that was a rough. Yeah, that was.
So we digress.
These 2-word zingers you have here.
She's like from Law and Order. That young lady. Guess he got what he deserved. Guess he had it coming. Anyway.
Back to the movie. Back to the
Film.
okay.
This is going to be a really hard one to edit. I feel like this is
We're making your job a little bit rough.
So, what do you guys think about the casting?
The casting, I loved Camille. What did you think, Lynn?
I did too. I love Amy Adams.
Brilliant for that role.
When I first
She's so pretty.
learned about her playing Camille, that wasn't what I envisioned, but I think that she did a great job. For one, she helped me realize that, like, I was wrong. She did a good job at, like, being Camille. I loved her being Camille. And who I really loved was Patricia Clarkson.
Oh, my goodness. She nailed Adora. Now, I'll be honest with you. When I read the book, I was thinking of, like, a Glenn Close or a Sigourney Weaver or something like that.
I love her.
But when I saw Patricia in there,
that
perfect.
Southern Belle, like, lots of makeup, that pristine class. And I think that
62 pounds.
Oh,
exactly, super
Patricia
tiny.
nailed it. Like, it was just, but I never had her in my head thinking about that role.
What did you think about Emma, though?
I don't know how I felt about Emma.
I just feel like they made her too old.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. She does not look like she was 13.
She was too close. She looked too close in age to Camille. It just really drove me crazy.
Well, I think it's because Camille or Amy Adams' frame is small. And then Eliza is not thicker, but like she's a taller girl that's kind of like, a little bit more built.
I was thinking more of their faces.
She did have a mature face.
She had, to me, she had a mature face, but that could have been what they were trying to go for. As I probably think I would have casted somebody who looked younger, but maybe dressed themselves up to look
because they made it seem like she was well developed. Emma in the movie. The book.
Her character was straight crazy.
Yeah, she is.
She was crazy.
Speaking of crazy on the opposite spectrum, how did y'all feel about the stepdad?
Right?
I wanted to choke.
God.
He was a piece of lint.
So bad.
Like,
you are a waste of oxygen.
He was a piece of lint.
He played that role really well.
He did.
Like, really? What is
Henry did a great job of playing that role.
He did.
Man, I wanted to like, why are you even wasting oxygen? Get out.
Exactly. But now, it seemed in the series that there was a relationship, sort of a attraction between the cop and Adora.
Vickery and
Adora. Like, it was sort of this attraction. They had that one scene in the series where his wife was kind of looking at Adora, like, they just had this little connection, which wasn't in the book.
Right, no,
in the book
at all.
But it was like this little flirty
I felt like in the film, it was as if everyone adored Adora. Like, that was what they were trying to come across. Because even the doctor that came to fix her up, wasn't it a doctor? Somebody that came to fix her hand up or something?
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
it was a doctor.
It's like, can I say?
Yeah, everybody like Adora. You don't talk bad about
everybody's all over her.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just felt like that police officer, it was something a little bit different. Because they intentionally put the camera on his wife that one time.
Like, she was upset.
And she was watching him stare at her. And it was her backside.
Right, exactly.
Which that's always interesting to me when they do that for people that don't have backsides. What are you looking at?
You looking at the back of her head or
just her back?
Nice long back.
So scenes like that are just funny to me.
But what did you actually like about Richard, the casting for him? Because I pictured someone very different.
No.
Yeah, I didn't picture him at all.
Yeah, I really pictured someone different.
Agent.
Yeah, I just didn't envision him. He was alright.
He was just okay.
He wasn't great. He wasn't terrible. He just made Richard be kind of insignificant to me.
Yeah.
Which he was a significant person, character, but he didn't put a oomph behind it to me.
At all.
But when the series started, the one thing that was driving me crazy when it started is that they would show parts of her body and then they would kind of show her looking at it, but you couldn't really see the cuts. And so I'm getting frustrated. I hadn't read the book. You couldn't even see the cut.
Right.
But then as it went on, they started showing them and
read them.
more significant. But in the beginning, I'm like, really? I wouldn't have even known that she was a cutter if I hadn't read the book. So I started off getting a little frustrated with that aspect of it. But I noticed as they went on, they started showing that it was more defined.
Yeah.
So I know Lynn is the overthinker, but I was very excited, actually, to learn a lot about Munchausen's by proxy, which is what I'm going to define it.
The disease.
Which is the disease that the mom had. She liked taking care of sick people.
You call that crazy.
What is it called?
Munchausen's by proxy.
Yes.
One more time.
Munchausen's by proxy.
Munchausen's.
Like munch?
Yes. Google
House.
it. Because it's Munchausen's and there's Munchausen's.
There's two different ones.
That's what I want to make sure you talk to me about.
A hypochondriac is Munchausen's. Like you like to get
Do
the
it to
attention
yourself. Yeah.
to get when you're sick.
Mm-hmm.
But Munchausen's by proxy is you like, if you were to take care of Shanita all the time and you wanted her to be sick and remain sick because it made you feel important. It made you feel like you had something to live for.
So it's by proxy.
So it's by proxy.
I went past that. Like when they started throwing those big words out, I'm like, she's just cray-cray.
I was good with the abbreviations that they gave.
But it's a disease, yeah.
Yes, and
I believe it.
There's a new series is also out about that, and I like that it's actually touching base on mental health. Mm-hmm. And this wasn't, of course, focused on that, but then I feel like there's so many aspects in this series about mental health, with not just the Munchausen's by proxy, but also with the need to cut.
Yes.
So I feel like I liked how the series, I know this is a terrible way of saying it, but made it seem that you're not alone. Like you're not by yourself. Like there are others that have these problems, and it might not be from the same traumatic experience that you experienced, but it's still real.
Right.
So I did like how this series was, how put that in limelight that it's real.
It's real. People have it, and you don't have to be ashamed of it. But hopefully, people go get help.
So what disease did the young girl have? Cray disease?
Munchausen's.
Oh, she had the same one?
She liked to be taken care of because she was sick.
Oh, she enjoyed
She also liked to do crazy stuff. So, all the above.
Yeah. Okay.
But she's a victim of, her mother.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely like a toxic relationship between her mother and her.
Yeah.
They were kind of feeding off of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there I like to collect teeth disease?
No, it's just I want an ivory floor.
Psycho.
Oh, it's just one ivory floor, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
In my dollhouse. Lovely.
Yeah,
Did you guys notice that the ending of the book and the movie are slightly different?
No, do tell.
Well, the
What
book,
did I miss?
it was
Did
similar.
I miss something?
Well, remember in the book, once the cray that wanted to collect teeth, once she moved in with her sister Camille,
Emma.
She did all of the same things in the movie on the series, but once she got caught in the series, she was like, just don't tell mom.
Yeah.
But in the book, they took her away and locked her up. And Camille's boss and his wife took Camille in because they felt she was sick and tried to help her out.
Yeah.
Now, I did recognize that. But I was thinking that the series was going to kind of lead that exactly for a part 2 or a season 2.
Right.
So that was something that I was kind of alluding to, that maybe it could be a continuation. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, series do that. So like keep you still intrigued.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the book, they did that before all this happened. Because in the book, she talked about how he was almost like a father to her, like he cared for her. Yeah. So all of that happened actually before she even went there.
He was acting that way as if, yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
the two of them were taking care of her before she went to start this journey.
Yeah, and they called and said, like,
that's why they were so into her.
But she didn't physically live with them in the beginning.
I don't know that she physically lived with them, but it did say they cared for me and they were trying to help me get through my issues.
Right.
But at the end of the book, they actually came and got her.
Correct. Yes.
And she had to stay with them.
At the end.
But you know what I didn't like at the end too? They quickly did that little flash of the scene, how they actually killed the little girl. Did you catch that at the end of the series? It's like the series went off and then it came back and they showed a little flash of them like holding these girls down to the ground. And they showed a quick flash of how Emily?
What was her name? Emma killed the little girl. When they went into really graphic detail in the book, the series just showed a quick flash of it.
And I was wondering if it's because they were going to bring it back in the next That was there. We'll go into more detail later.
Is that the end? The last little girl you're talking about? Or?
No, not the girl the new girl that she went to school with. They showed a scene of her and her girlfriends actually holding one of the little girls in the ground.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like a quick flash of that scene. But remember the book
was very
went into graphic, and I kind of wanted to see that.
Well, Lynn, Julia.
I know. I kind of wanted to see that
Once
scene.
again, I feel personally attacked.
So how would you guys rate this adaptation?
I will give it...
Don't think too hard.
I know.
Don't hurt yourself.
I know. I think I would give it a full glass. I think they stayed true, for the most part, to the book.
And you enjoyed the book, I guess. That's what you're saying.
Well, it was this little, she's just dark, and I'm not a dark person. But the book, yes, I did somewhat.
I feel personally attacked again.
Hey, if the shoe fits, if the cleaver fits in your hand.
You do have nice teeth.
Note to self, sit somewhere else.
Trina, what do you think?
I give that a full glass. I think they did a really good job with the transition from the book to the movie.
I give it a full glass also. I think that the casting was great. I think that the adaptation from book to series was great. I was not disappointed.
See, I really think I'm going to give it a full glass too. I think we're a little biased to Jean Marc. At least I feel like
you are.
Just maybe.
Just a little bit. But yeah, so let's wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Full glasses.
Full glass.
Woo! All right. So that's where we're going to end this off on Sharp Objects. Check us out on Read, Watch, and Wine on Instagram.
You can email us at readwatchwine@gmail.com. You can catch our other podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, and pretty much anywhere where you can find podcasts.
Stay tuned for Dark Places. Another Gillian Flynn.
Support.
Like,
Subscribe
Subscribe on
give us some
iTunes.
feedback.